Okay, let's say that we've got a kettle, and the effect of the kettle is 3 kilowatts, and we use that kettle, we boil it to make Nescafe. 3 minutes we're to make some coffee. 3 minutes, and we make 10 cups of coffee a day. So how much energy would that take, and how many days, full days, would I be able to, instead of making coffee, have a light bulb burning instead? How much would that be equivalent to if we were to say that I made the cup of coffee 10 times a day, every single day, so 365 days a year? Well, the first thing we need to work out is how much energy that would be equivalent to from the kettle. So we would have 10 kilowatt, sorry, that's 3 kilowatt dictates the kettle. That's equivalent to 3 kilowatt hours. So if I was to have that kettle going for 1 whole hour, so for 1 hour, the amount of energy that the kettle would use if it was on the whole time, it would be 3 kilowatt hours. We're only actually using the kettle for 3 minutes. So to work out how much energy we are using, we need to work out 3 parts out of 60, because we're only using 3 minutes, multiplied by 3 kilowatts. That will give us the amount of kilowatt hours we need every time we use our kettle. So this will be just every one time we use our kettle, but we're not using it just one time, we're actually using it 10 times a day and 365 days a year. So to work out the number of kilowatt hours, we just multiply 3 by 3 by 10 by 365 and divide by 60. And we just punch those numbers in on the calculator, and that tells us that the kettle will, in a year's consumption, be using 547 kilowatt hours. So if we're to use our kettle for 3 minutes, 10 times a day, and its power is using 3 kilowatts, so 3 minutes, 10 times a day, convert that to hours to get it into kilowatt hours, multiplied by the amount of power that the kettle uses, multiplied by the number of times a day we heat the kettle, multiplied by the number of days a year. So for 547 kilowatt hours per year is how much our kettle is going to use. Right, now we need to work out how many hours we could actually shine a 40-watt light bulb compared with that. Well, if we were to have 547 kilowatt hours of energy in a light bulb, and the light bulb itself only uses 40 watts, well, that's the same as 40 divided by 1,000 into kilowatts. 40 kilowatts is the same as 0.04 kilowatts. So we'd actually get 547 divided by 0.04, and that would give us the number of hours that bulb could be lit for. So we do that, 547 divided by 0.04. That gives us 13,688 hours. So we could actually have the light bulb lit for 13,688. It's not reasonable to leave in that answer. We want to be able to have our answer instead. Well, we need to convert our hours. Let's first divide by 24 to change it into days. That would be equivalent to 570 days by dividing this number by 24. Now we know that it's 572 days. Let's divide it by 365 days in a year. So that would be equivalent to keeping our light bulb lit for 1.5 years. 1.56 years. So instead of boiling our kettle to make cups of coffee for for 3 minutes, 10 times a day, 365 days a year, we could actually have a 40-watt light bulb lit for 1.5 years, 24 hours a day. And that's what it would be equivalent to. So understanding the connection here between the very large consumption of a kettle, which is actually using 3,000 watts of every time we turn it on, or a hairdryer, or other items in our house like an oven, it takes a lot of electricity, compared with a little light bulb which takes 40 watts, 0.04 kilowatts compared with 3,000. Of course, we're going to get a lot more light out of a light bulb for a lot longer period of time than we're going to get minutes of boiling a kettle when it's got much higher energy consumption.